So hey everybody, we're here for a Vanagard playthrough. I'm here with Chris and Florian.
Hello.
And we're going to walk you through a little bit of Vanagard play.
The first thing you do is you draw a nature card, and I'll explain what that is after we draw it.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna go random, because Andrew was...
Yeah, you want us to draw random. Technically you can pick your nature, but we are just drawing it.
We're going to live dangerously here. We are going to be a rabbit.
Hey, go for the
Maybe it's not so dangerous, unless we're talking Monty Python rabbit.
You have to kick our shield and sword.
It's not white.
That's true, look at that.
But it's not white. So you're not that dangerous. I'm gonna be a squirrel. Speaking of danger.
And I will be...
You're channeling your inner Ratatosk.
the boar!
Alright.
So, I'll explain why we're choosing nature cards and what your characters are. So, Vanagard takes place at the dawn of the cosmos. So when everything is bright and new. So new that Midgard isn't even around. Odin is a young man. Loki is a young man. They're just kind of out of their teens running around.
Mischief afoot.
Exactly. You guys are in the world of Vanagard. So the land of the Vanir, the old gods. So at this case, they're more just the gods. They're not really old yet because those years haven't passed.
It's true. These are the new gods, though.
Yes, the Aesir are the new gods. They've just kind of shown up. They're
The
kind
kids.
of... They're probably called... Actually, come to think of it, they're probably called the young gods now.
Yeah.
And then eventually they'll become the gods, and the Vanir will become the old gods.
There we go.
How the cycle works. You guys serve the goddess Freya. Freya is the goddess of life and death. She chooses who may have children on Vanagard, and she also decides where the souls of the dead go. In her case, in this story, she puts the souls of the dead Vanir and anyone who dies in Vanagard in her home of Phantomwood. Now, Phantomwood isn't quite in the mythology, but that comes to play in later stories and so forth.
That's right.
This is at the very beginning, so Vanagard does allow you to take some licenses.
Yeah, it's one of the plus sides of running a game of Vanagard. You don't really need to have like a deep knowledge of Norse mythology. I mean, it's a blank canvas. You can just go crazy.
Well, the key here is Freya's a powerful goddess, but she doesn't necessarily want to do... She can't really do everything alone, but at the same time, she doesn't want to necessarily always rely on her brother, Frey, or father Njord, or mother Njorthis for help. So what she did is she created sort of people-animal familiars, beast people, essentially, to help her out. So where, like, you know, a Scythcona would have, like, a raven, and where, you know, a Galder might be able to summon a little effigy to help him. She creates fully sentient beings from magic, who are just as real and just as intelligent and crafty as people.
Cool.
Because, again, she's a goddess. She can do that.
And what are we called?
You are called the Vanfolk, meaning you were born in Vanagard, and essentially this is your home.
Awesome.
Now, when you pick your nature, you decide what kind of animal you have. So the nature cards have a little picture of what your character looks like. So you see like a humanoid boar-like person. You're not like a full animal. You're sort of a mix between animal and person.
Anthropomorphic. Something like Narnia or Redwall.
Exactly. I don't say animal-human because humans haven't been created yet.
Right.
So in this case, you also have the title of your animal, boar, and you have 3 talents. For instance, for the boar, it's chase, hunt, and work. Now these talents tie into the nature itself. So the boar has chase because they can run away, but also charge things. Hunt because they're dangerous, they have tusks and so forth. And work because they're strong. Where, with Andrew's character,
The rabbits.
rabbits have chase because, well, the rabbits, they're fast. Play because they're known to be able to sort of trick things in order to get out of trouble. That's a pretty big trope in mythology and certain cartoons involving rabbits who eat carrots. And then lead because they work in a group. So they have to have a social structure, so there's some sort of built-in status to that.
Makes sense.
Squirrels have play because they are squirrels. They are known for playing. Lead,
Troublemakers.
Yeah.
Lead, I would say, in this case is because they're courageous. Like, they tend, especially in the mythology...
No, they don't shy away.
Well, Ratatosk visits Nidhogg. Nidhogg! So, that requires bravery.
Yeah.
A Nidhogg's a huge dragon that's like, eating
The
grass.
world tree.
And then they bring fake message between Nidhogg and the eagles.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
speak wise because they know secrets.
Well,
Secrets.
The
We tell
actual-
you too much.
The actual answers to this fake message.
Exactly.
So that's the first part of it.
All right.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write out some stats on these index cards. The final game will have something a little prettier.
Yeah.
And the stats for Vanagard are as follows. Destiny. And Destiny probably sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Well, I pulled it from Fate of the Norns.
What?
Destiny in Vanguard is exactly what it is in Fate of the Norns Ragnarok. It is your ability to affect change on the world. So your will, sort of your strength of purpose and so forth. Basically, the more destiny you have, the bigger smash you can make on things.
Okay.
Whether socially or physically or mentally. Essence, again, you probably recognize that.
Yeah.
Essence is essentially everything you are, all your experiences and so forth. Now, you have a bunch of seed cards. How many seed cards do you have? I wonder. 1, 2,
Let me check.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Same as Essence.
Exactly.
We
Your
have the same number as him.
What are the chances?
every
I
character.
have one more.
Oh no! Every character in Vanguard starts with 2 destiny and 6 essence.
Okay.
You have another stat. Now this is new. It's called fortune.
Okay.
So fortune is sort of a mix between your wealth and your luck, and you use fortune to get spells and treasures during the game.
So it's kind of like XP's, but it's also your rewards after leveling up.
It's a progression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And next you have your cost, which is how much fortune you need before you can get a new spell or treasure. In this case, your fortune starts at 0 because you're just starting out. Your cost is 10. So once you get 10 fortune, you'll be able to get a new spell or treasure.
Perfect.
Perfect.
There's one other thing that you'll want to add here. and
Fat
it's-
loots.
No, it's called max. And max is equal to your destiny plus 1. So 3. Now what max is during the game, you'll be picking up other talents.
Okay.
Max is how many of any one talent you can have in your deck. So if you have 3, I can have at most 3 hunt if I want to be a really good hunter.
But the whole game is about exploration and cooperation, right? So everyone has certain strengths, and everyone has something that they lend to every challenge that you face.
But you kind of need the 6 trait. Is the 6
Yes.
Southernmost?
There's 6 traits in all.
Because if you only have hunt in your deck and you face another challenge, you'll...
Actually, you can do it, but there'll be a cost, and we'll get into that later.
Oh, cool.
Oh, another thing the other thing that's part of your character is these, which we counted out before. These are seed cards.
With runic symbols on them.
Exactly. All they have are a runic symbol.
The Elder Futhark?
The Elder Futhark, exactly. Same as in Fate of the Norns Ragnarok. Seed cards are pure potential.
Okay.
As it stands right now, we don't know who our characters are, but we will be creating them during the game. We'll be getting to know them as we play.
Awesome.
So that's what these are right now, and you'll see how they work when we start playing.
All right.
But they're equal to your essence, and kind of like in Fate of the Norns runes, if we get hurt during the game, we lose some of these cards temporarily. When we heal or rest, we get them back.
So we feel the pain immediately.
Exactly.
All right.
One other thing. Every Vanfolk character starts with a single spell or treasure. Spells and treasures are special things you can use to sort of like help you out in a pinch. Now, in your case, do you want to be like a sorcerer? Pick a spell. Do you want to be more of a warrior or just a thief? Or a rogue? I mean, not thief. Thieves are bad people. But a rogue, you can get a treasure. So what would you rather have, Florian? A spell or a treasure?
I'd rather have the pink elastic.
All right, pink color. I can't tell because I'm colorblind. Well, red-green colorblind. But here you go.
I don't know what
Pick
it
one
is.
of those.
But I'll
All
do
right.
that.
So those are the items.
Those are the treasures.
All right.
I'll be a roguish squirrel.
Okay.
Which works.
Yes. Oh, you could be a magic squirrel.
No, it's
Magic missile, lightning ball.
Treasure, Badger's Hoard. Am I reading
A
right?
badger's hoard.
Yeah.
It's a horde of badger. Or...
It's a no.
It's just
Come to me, my badgers!
You could do that. Actually, I have it written down here. That is a small pouch that is ever full of savory sautéed mushrooms, good for the road. So you have unlimited food.
Yay.
So do you want a spell or a treasure?
I think I'm gonna go with treasure because I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna go with the picture here. So
All right.
my rabbit's got.
So I put
You
my
pick one, or
I put my
draw
pouch
random?
in my cheek.
Yeah.
And I'll keep it
You,
here.
you have clothes and stuff.
So you have room for
put on
two.
a belt.
I'm a squirrel. I keep my foot in my cheek.
Okay.
I have the shimmering. Bends light and color around you to help blend in with your surroundings.
Ooh.
So you're like a predator rabbit.
All right. You can't see me.
I'm gonna get a spell because I like spells and magic is cool. And I'm
Sounds
gonna
good.
be a magic boar.
You're the burly boar with the magical talent.
I have. Ooh, this works for me.
Bodybuilding wizards.
Speed of the hunt. Draw out primal instinct to move with the swiftness of a pack of hungry wolves.
That works.
No one pulled the wolf though.
That's okay. I can use a spell that makes me wolf-like and show those wolves a thing or two.
All right. So
So
here's a
that's what we
question:
need.
are we all players in this experience, or is there a game master or dungeon master required?
Well, there is no dungeon master required. You can have one. Now, in Vanagard, every scene of the game is what's called a chapter, like the chapter of a story. Now, you need someone to set that chapter up.
All right.
Now, the Norn is a person who describes a scene, sets everything up, and facilitates what's happening.
All right.
Now, in Vanguard, there are two types of Norns. You'll notice that we all have players. We're going to be doing a type where we all get to play as well.
All right.
But the first type of Norn is known as a sitting Norn. That's more your traditional Norn. Someone who has a story in mind. She sits down, she plays the cards, and kind of directs things towards a bigger plan.
All right.
Pretty standard, pretty traditional, and if, especially if you're introducing the game, Sitting Norn is probably your best choice.
Well, or if you want to build maybe something on the long run with a point.
Yeah, if you have a saga in mind, then
An
you can,
ongoing campaign.
Yeah.
you can keep things sort of going that way. The second type of Norn is the Wandering Norn. And the Wandering Norn means each player takes a turn being Norn for one chapter.
All right.
So for instance, I'll start it
dig
off.
that.
There'll be 6 chapters, so I'll start it off. I'll be the Norn, and then in the second chapter, we'll switch. Florian will be the Norn, and then Andrew will be the Norn, and then it will come back to me. And while whoever's Norn isn't playing their character, they're just worried about the chapter.
Oh yeah.
But then when the focus is off them, they get a chance to play their character.
Makes
Okay.
sense. All right.
All right,
So
let's
do
do
the
it.
wandering.
All right. So I will start off, and I'll kind of explain this a piece at a time, and then as we get to it, we'll be able to do it more fluidly.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as a Norn, the very first thing I do is I throw a map card. These are map cards.
Ooh.
So I put this one down here.
All right.
You'll notice that this has a picture. The picture's for inspiration.
Right.
So I can describe the scene and use that as an idea. You'll notice that there's a rune here. That rune will become important later. But we won't quite worry about it now.
Hey, it's Biz throwing people.
Whee! Yeah, there's a guy that ripped the door off a building using it as a shield. He's wrestling a bear, and a bear is throwing somebody.
And bear just from
Well,
somebody.
the key too is you can take anything you want from here as inspiration. Also, if I already have a story in mind, I can ignore this.
Right.
It's just something to help me think up on the spot
Alright.
something to do. And it's very good that way because you don't need a lot of preparation. You can come into this cold.
All right.
Now, before we start the scene, what I do next is I ask anyone at the table, is anyone here resting? Now, what resting does is, during the course of the game, you may lose some of these cards. To get them back, you rest.
Okay.
When you rest, you get your destiny back in cards. Right now, though, you don't have to worry about doing that.
We're fresh.
You're fresh, so there's no reason for either of you to rest.
All right.
Or
but-
stop playing a trick on a rabbit.
What?
Unless you're playing a trick.
Wait, what?
And maybe you could do that when it comes your turn.
Yeah,
to
I
be
know,
Norn.
I know.
Actually, that gives me an idea. And that maybe I'll use that. Actually, yes. That
What?
gives me the perfect idea.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, I take it neither of you are resting.
No.
No, we're good. We're full.
Another thing
Fresh.
too, keep your seed cards like this,
Face down.
like as a deck.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to shuffle them because they're all blank, but if they had stuff in them, you'd want to shuffle them. You keep your nature and your treasure card to the side because you can spend those, and when you spend them, you might as well just flip them over.
Okay.
One other thing is, these are kind of like sort of power-ups or one-time use items. It doesn't mean you lose your animal half when you use it, but it becomes important to the story. Long story short, though, if you use either of these, they're
You're
gone for
flipping.
the entire story.
Okay.
So you can't even recover them through resting.
Right. So this is a scene, and then
Yep,
a series of these is called the story.
exactly.
So how many scenes in the story?
6. So if you use your nature right away to help you out, you'll be like, oh, I can't use it again until the next story.
Well, later. Okay.
All right.
Anyways, getting to this, so you gave me an idea, and because of that, the other thing you can do to get inspiration is you can draw a rune, you can look at it, and then knowing the meaning of the runes with a copy of Diviner,
Right.
or I give a little short chart to determine something that can help you out. You can look at it, and that can give you an idea as well. I don't need it in this case because you gave me an idea.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So next thing I
That's
do,
worst.
I feel singled out here.
so every chapter
Yeah?
has a series of is made up of challenges.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
will be made up of at most 2 challenges, at least 1, and it depends if you two decide to work together or not. The 2 of you are out forging. Vanfolk don't just do Freya's work; they also have to survive in Phantomwood.
No, yeah.
And what ended up happening is you went around and you were like, you know, what would be fun? Finding a really good stash of food. So you
I
came
don't
up
need
to
I
it.
have my shrooms.
Oh, you have your shrooms, and you can eat them
All
yourself.
in your cheek.
But the thing is,
Yeah, I have an empty cheek.
you have tried to feed all of your Vantown with your magic bag before,
And it doesn't work.
people nearly killed you because they're like, "We are tired of shrooms.
Oh.
We want something else."
Squirrel and his mushroom.
So because
Saute with little
Depending
bacon.
depending on the kind of mushroom, like
No
it can
bacon.
be different every time.
Bacon.
okay, remember who's the biggest of us?
Well, he's not here.
Yeah, I'm currently doing something
That's
else.
right.
I'm being cool. Anyways, you two were sent out. You were sent out because they want to make sure that you know how to get real food, not just mushrooms.
Oh.
And you were sent out to watch him. Watch him.
And you don't see me. I've got my shimmering ring on.
Oh, at any rate, so you're kind of moving around with your shimmering, invisible. You're going into a cave. You walk into this deep.
Why would I go into a cave if I don't want to find mushrooms?
Well, you smell something nice in there.
Oh yeah.
Actually, do you want to go into the cave? You smell something savory.
Like mushrooms?
A little bit of mushrooms, but there's also a bit of meat. You smell
Squirrel
some
and its mushrooms.
onions.
Sounds good.
All right.
Somebody's cooking. I'm gonna steal it. It's fine.
Okay.
That's food for the village.
And claim it as your own.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and you go inside the cave, and inside the cave, you see a small gathering of bears.
Dun dun dun.
So they're sitting there, and you notice them as other vanfolk, essentially. So they're bear vanfolk. They're
Okay.
huge. They're not nice people, but they
Oh.
have a lot of good food. Now, you probably want to avoid the
Well, but if they are eating people,
you want to avoid the meat, but there's a lot of good vegetables.
oh, that's
And
nice.
there's like acorns and like a lot
You're not
of
a carnivorous squirrel?
I could trade them the town folks for the vegetables. That would
well,
work.
the other thing too is people
Aren't you trying to feed the
Oh
town
wait,
folk?
well that saves me of 2 problems. I don't have to just feed them, and I have food.
Well, to be fair though too, the other thing too is this is getting a bit bigger than food because these are outlaws.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these are dangerous
I-
folk that
I won't stand for thievery and
They're
outlaws.
bears that have gone bad.
well, also like murder is also more important than thievery, perhaps.
Well, I won't stand for criminals. That's
All right,
not in my camp.
that's your job.
Stealing is fine, but
All right, so
Stealing motorcycles.
we have a challenge.
yeah.
It's
So how
these
does it work?
bears. So, which one of you wants to start facing this challenge? You seem to be the most.
I'm brave and bold.
Okay, so what do
fine.
you want to do with these
Wait,
bears?
no, I'm not brave.
Your lead is brave.
Oh, lead is brave. I'm brave. I'm
All right.
bold.
So,
You think you are?
what do you want to do with these bears? What's your plan?
How many bears?
There are 3, and
Three
they're
bears.
big.
A papa bear, a mama bear, and a baby bear.
Okay, is there a place of hiding from which I could sense small rocks at one of the bear? He would believe it's the other bear, then would send them to another bear, then they would start fighting because they keep poking each other.
Okay, you can do that. So that's your plan. So there are many kinds. There are 6 types of talents in Vanagard: chase, hunt, play, lead, speak wise, and work. You're being playful. So you're sneaking in, and you're going to be throwing a little rock to try to anger these bears to fight each other.
Yep.
Now, the way this works is I have to decide as a Norn how difficult that's going to be. And it's going to be based on a number of runes you drop in the
Couldn't
bag.
wait for winter.
Winter? Why winter?
Well, because they are bears. They're going to sleep in winter, and we need food in winter. So.
Well,
But they're bad bears. They're bad bears.
You've also already decided on your course of action.
that's
You're
right.
already in the cave.
No, it makes sense.
Now, I'm going to say doing this because you're small and they're busy on focusing on eating stuff, it's going to be easy. So I'm going to only have you draw 1 rune. So the level of difficulty, will be 3 if you draw a red rune, 2 if you draw a blue rune, and 1 if you draw a green rune.
And this is pretty standard, right?
Yeah.
For every scene.
So draw 1 rune.
So I want green, right?
You're hoping for green. Oh my god, you got green.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay.
That's how good I am.
So this is going to be an
called it.
This is going to be a very easy task for you. So now we're in the challenge phase. So the first thing you do is draw your Destiny cards from this deck. So you just draw 2.
No, from mine, not yours.
Yeah, no, not mine.
Okay,
Just put them out on the table.
I have 2 white
Whoa!
cards.
So these are seed cards.
Okay.
So the good thing about this is you can make these seed cards into any kind of talent card you'd like to fit the situation.
In this situation, I need play.
Yeah, and you need 1 play. Only 1 play.
So I
And this
could
is because we're creating our characters as we go.
right. Play, because I'm playful as a tiny squirrel.
yeah. So
And
the idea...
once you do, that's it. That rune is locked into play, right?
Correct. You can no longer add any other runes. So if you
Do I
draw
have
that
to
again,
fill out the other one too?
no, you can if you want. Strategically, it's better if you leave it blank.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, the other thing you
It's
do
cheating.
is mark on your sheet that you have 1 play. Because that way
Because
you
I have a max
of
amount
3.
of play. Yeah.
And the maxes do not count your talent cards or treasure cards or spell cards.
No, just the cards in your deck.
Okay, so I have 1 play.
Okay, so that's enough to win. So now that you've won, we put this back. You can shuffle both cards back into your deck because you haven't spent anything. It's pretty easy. And now,
That's because I had a good plan.
exactly. And describe how your plan works.
So yeah, so basically I just sneak behind the bears. It's a cave, so there's a few rocks here and there. There's hanging rocks, and then I just grab a few small rocks that I throw at one of them. The one to the right, like I identify the leader and throw them at the leader. It makes sense. And hide, and then throw some more until he starts getting angrier. Then I throw them at another one and try to make them come from the direction of another bear. This way, they each will think that the other one just poked them or send them rocks or send anything. Just want to make them mad at each other.
They didn't stand a chance.
Because you did it well, you succeeded. Now when you succeed, you gain the number of runes you drew in fortune. So you gain 1 fortune for this.
But he drew 2 runes.
No, he drew
No,
1.
I drew 1 from the challenge.
Ah, from the challenge.
Those are
Yeah.
cards.
Yes.
So yeah, the number of challenge runes you drew.
Okay.
So you have 1 fortune. So that's exactly what happens. So I need to make up another challenge, and I have an idea. So you come in and you start like pecking the bears, and they're like, "What's going on? Hey, why did you hit me? I don't hit you. Oh!" And then they roar, and then start basically. It's a hurricane of claws, teeth, and biting.
Do you know
See
in
what
which
you
world you
started?
have bear? Berserker.
Well, the problem is their berserker rage is in the area of effect. You are in the area of effect.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's bad.
You were told, make sure he manages to get food. Make sure he survives. How are you going to save him from the ball of claws and fur?
Survive is a very broad term, right? In terms of like what state he comes back in.
Your village
Well, I can be
elder
alive
would be
with
very,
limbs.
very angry if he came back missing a leg or his head.
Just a little bit of fur.
You're the more responsible one. I'm expecting you to do something.
Clearly, you.
Whoa! I was placed in the position of responsibility as a playful rabbit.
Well, you also leading rabbits.
Well, I just lead the mischief.
Oh,
you also
handle yourself.
All right, so I've got to get you out of this melee. Is that it?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen you before. Well, actually,
you've seen this character before.
No, I mean, since I left the town, because you're invisible with your ring of invisibility.
My shimmering ring of shimmering.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
So
it's shimmering for now.
I enter the cave completely unnoticed with my shimmering ring, and I'm going to begin by growling like a bear.
Oh.
As in the lead bear. So I'm going to try to lead them in terms of saying, none of you are worthy without having a proper leader in front of you. You need someone who's going to run this gang properly. So I'm going to look to usurp the main leader as the head of the gang.
Okay, that is a tricky maneuver. You can do it. Now, one other thing too is, as a Norn, it's a good idea for most of the challenges to be probably around half your destiny. That's one where I can be sure you're pretty sure at doing this. However, you are a rabbit trying to essentially
lead the bears.
Yes, which is going to be difficult.
I'm the growling rabbit.
You can try.
I thought you were the playful rabbit.
You can try, but I'm gonna tell you.
Depends on the day of the week.
I'm gonna tell you this much: it's not guaranteed you'll be able to do this.
Yeah.
If you do it, it will be epic.
Maybe
you'll probably have to spend one of these.
Maybe.
All right. As a Norn, to be fair, rabbit trying to lead the bear.
Yeah.
3.
3. It's still random, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
that's the way I like it.
Oh no, the other thing too is you finished your turn, you're done.
Yeah.
Normally you'd have an option to perhaps helping.
Yes.
You can't help because you're done right now.
I'm dead.
But if we were in a multiplayer game, all the players after me would have the option to help out.
And we'll probably get a chance to help another player. If, say, for example, he had run
into trouble.
Yeah, you could have helped him, and then both your turns would be done, and we continue on. So draw 3 runes.
We're gonna run.
You might not be able to do this.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
It could be worse.
Okay.
How could it be worse?
Well, it could be 3 red.
Okay.
That would be really bad.
So that's 3, 5, 6. So you have 6. Now, this may look impossible because normally you draw 2.
It does.
And you'd only be able to reduce 2 risks.
I'm dead.
Now, part of it is because, well, to be fair, part of it's because
you
decided as a rabbit to try to dominate bears.
Do not second guess me.
Well,
what are my options?
You have some options. Now, whenever you run into a situation like this, you can spend your nature card, you can spend a treasure, or you can spend a spell to help you out.
All right.
Now, treasures, the way they work is they reduce 2 risk. Now, that won't be enough for you because you'll have 2.
6.
Yeah. Now, one thing
So I draw these right away, right?
Yeah.
So we can just look at our options. So we've got...
So if you put lead into both of these, because this is a lead challenge, that would reduce it to 4. So you need still to make up 4. This won't be enough. Now, one quick note. Notice that this rune is on the card. If this rune shows up on a chapter, if you play it on a chapter with this rune on it, it's empowered. So it's actually worth double.
Perfect.
It would be worth 4. Not in this case, though.
Yeah. So normally 2, 4 if it matches the scene card.
Yeah.
And if it matches any of these?
No, just
no bonus.
a scene.
Right.
Now,
basically, if I understand it well, all we need is the color.
Well, actually, no, because these can come up with little complications, and you'll see those later. But we'll worry about that later.
All right.
Yeah, we'll probably see the complications soon.
Sooner rather than later. It's all according to plan. Don't worry.
But as for this, it's only the chapter rune. If it matches, it's
Trust
double.
the rabbit.
It's worth 4. So your shimmer rig won't help you.
No, it won't.
However, you have your nature. Now
I've turned visible, and I've strutted into the cavern as a rabbit, growling.
Now,
I'm rabbit.
By the way, if you fail,
yes.
you take your runes and damage.
So I would.
You would lose these 2 cards and one of these.
Right.
So it'd be like, half my
Because
cards
3
are gone.
runes. Yeah.
You would be both of you would be mangled by bears. You
Oh, would lose the runes too?
no, because
Oh.
it's just a description, but you would take the brunt.
Yes.
You would have been like all their attention would be focused on you. They'd hear you, and then they'd stomp
Okay, so
you,
worst case is a bait.
and then you would get out
Yes.
of.
It's fine. Your plan is
But wait.
great.
There's still a huge butt hanging over this table.
There is now. You have your nature card.
Yes, I do.
If you spend your nature card, you'll have to explain how your nature helps. However, your nature card is worth your destiny and risk, so only 2 in this case.
Yes.
So again, that'd be 4. However,
If I use.
yes, as you see, rabbits have lead.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a matching talent on your card, it's worth double. Well, just like the treasure. So, but instead of matching the rune, you're matching the talent. So in this case, your rabbit is not worth 2. It's worth
That's
4.
right.
Did you read the rules
That's
before
right.
that?
No, making this up as I go along.
Well, the other thing too is you drew these randomly.
Yes.
So you could have easily drawn 9 and have had
Yeah.
no
Well,
option.
actually,
No chance
You
at
could
that
have
point.
drawn 15.
15?
Well, 5 blue. Oh
No. It's 3, 2, and 1, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
because you said 3-5, but it's 3.
we're adding it up, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I exhaust this
For the rest
4,
of the story. In the
And
first
then I
chapter.
get 2 leads.
Yep.
All of a sudden, I am leading this gang of thug bears.
Yes.
Thug life, baby. Thug.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg.
All right.
Cue the music.
So you succeeded.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D-R-E. It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg.
You get these 2 cards back into your deck. You shuffle
Yes.
them in.
So these come back in here. We're going
That
to
stays
shuffle
on
them
the
up.
turn.
Did I shuffle?
And now,
Hey.
these bears have a new leader in town.
You also have 3 fortune.
Yeah.
Ding.
3 fortune.
So-
And
So how
I'm
does
gonna-
how does being a rabbit help you convince the bears not to to follow you?
so I say, look at this. Look at this. Look at this mess that's in this cavern. So my rabbit puts on his best Joe Pesci face.
Yeah.
And he comes in there and he says, so, what's the matter, you guys? You wise guys? You don't know how to, run an operation here? Look at you letting the squirrel. The squirrel get the better of you. You guys need a little bit of leadership.
Hello.
They talk to each other. I guess you're right. So they look at you, and you have some bear followers now.
Excellent.
Now you go to the next Norn, which will be you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So you draw the next one and you put it here.
So, am I supposed to take on, like, back into... We brought back the food in town, or just right after the bear join us? Or...
Right after the bear join us.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's up to you. You're the Norn.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get a sense of how
Yeah.
it's supposed to run.